Okay, so the real info behind this Mexico trip was to eventually travel to the southernmost state named Chiapas. It's somewhere I've been wanting to visit for around 8 years, but on the way there, we spent some time in Mexico City. I'm not one to typically gravitate towards popular tourist attractions in the places I travel to. However, this hot air balloon ride is the exception. We witnessed the sunrise while flying over the Teotihuacan ruins at 10,000 feet high in the sky, and I would do this a million times over. It was absolutely breathtaking. And then we headed south to San Cristobal de las Casas in search of a slower pace, some beautiful nature, and also to learn more about the long, complex history of the indigenous populations, as well as just the state of Chiapas as a whole, all while experiencing the beauty that it has to offer. We've arrived! Our first room was glorious and beautiful, and also a little dark and a little bit cold. So we moved, and I couldn't be more happy about our decision, because look at this bathroom. The tub. The lighting is so nice with the ceiling windows. One of the most defining parts of my time in Chiapas was joining this free walking tour in San Cristobal. Yes, we explored neighborhoods and markets that we likely wouldn't have discovered on our own, but we also learned a ton about how deeply rooted the struggle for justice really is here. We learned about the legacy of the Zapatista National Liberation Army, a revolutionary movement of indigenous communities organizing against economic exploitation, fighting for autonomy, land, and dignity, and how this spirit of resistance and rebellion is still very much alive and present in this region. We also talked about the environmental and social challenges the city faces as a result of Coca-Cola infiltrating the water system and extracting millions of liters of local water, even as many residents go without reliable tap water, and how that inequity continues to shape daily life here. You can see it on the streets with even children or babies drinking Coca-Cola because it's cheaper than water. So this tour really fundamentally shifted how we moved through the city. Being so close to liberation and revolution in practice and not just theory is something that I'm still carrying with me. Okay, I have to go back to the hotel. My phone's dying. And also, I need a break. Been up since 4 a.m. Love this city so far. However, it is a bit more bustling than I anticipated. So, I was just take a beat, drink some water, maybe take a shower. It is hot up here. That's the other thing. A lot of people were writing about how it's colder because of the elevation that it sits at. And although there is a super nice breeze, I definitely wouldn't call it cold. Vale. Una chica nos dije, no, una chica nos dijo que hay un open mic esta noche en un lugar que se llama el Palien... ¿Cómo se dice? El Paliacate. Es un espacio cultural y entonces el fit check este es el fit. ¿Qué piensas? Today was my birthday. I woke up feeling a little blue, but instead of trying to change or fix my feelings, I just observed them and let them be. And besides it feeling like a super relaxed, regular day where I felt really loved and cherished by my partner, I had an epiphany. I think from now on, I need to spend my birthdays in nature. It just feels like the most authentic way to celebrate my life at this point. There was something so unfulfilling about being in even a city as small as San Cristobal. No matter what we did, walking around, shopping, nothing really helped lift my spirit. So I rested a lot, and I needed it. Las fotos están... In my efforts to travel more intentionally, I asked our walking tour guide for recommendations on ecotourist activities involving nature. She connected us with one of her friends who offers personalized tours, which ended up being perfect since we wanted to explore Chiapas more like locals. And it honestly felt like we were with a group of friends. We were all kind of just geeked to be hanging out by the end of the tour. We ended up at Sendero Ninfa to hike through a conservation area that is home to the red-eyed tree frog. We learned about the diverse flora and fauna and met with other guides to help us spot the frogs. It took a little bit of time, but eventually we found one and it was the sweetest moment. This forest was so lush and dense. I'm so glad we had experts to help us spot so many different creatures. We even found clusters of the frog eggs, and this really blew me away. We finished off the tour at Pajoj Manok, a local waterfall nearby. I could not wait to go for a swim and spend some time connecting with the water, and that is exactly what I did. No hay muchas palabras para hoy, mayormente cientos, momentos, gratitud. No tenía control por nada excepto yo. La naturaleza siempre me recuerda que es importante en esta vida.
No le encontré nada sorprendente, excepto los huevitos de las ranas. Además, el bosque me refleja y me hizo sentir como en casa, con mi otra mamá. Aunque viajar es sorprendente, un día no me siento bienvenido y la otra un sentido de pertenencia. Mi espíritu está energizada, pero mi cuerpo cansada. Quiero dejar estos momentos a respiren por sí solos, pero también los siempre se sienten como semillas. Y vuelvo a mi vida preguntándome cómo cuidarlas. Muchas personas cambian sus vidas todo el tiempo, entonces hay un camino.